USC did win the toss. They will receive with Makai Lemon. They're very dangerous return man and receiver. Back to get the opening kick, and off we go in week 2. USC and Georgia Southern, with the Trojans getting the ball first. So Jaden Mayava, last year was fast and furious when he took over the job. It was late in the season for Miller Moss, but it was slow, smooth, and steady last week. The most comfortable he's been as a college quarterback.
Yeah, Coach Riley told us there was not one ball in the wrong spot. He threw it downfield when he should have, but checked it down when he should have, was in the right spots in the RPO game, in the run game decision-wise. That's a big step for this guy. It's the first-year full-time starter.
Played the first half on USC's way to 73 points, the most points in college football in week 1. And their opening snap of week 2 is in the hands of Mayava, and out to the edge, complete. And just like he was last week, accurate to start week number 2. He's got playmakers all around him.
And that's one of the leading ones that did not find the end zone last week. That was the headline, as you said. Makai Lemon, just a stud on the outside in every regard. Jacoby Lane, the big superstar, unbelievable range. Lake McCree, Walker, Lions get the start at tight end. 12 personnel.
Lemon was targeted 8 times in that first half last week, and this was a big story for the Trojans. Over 200 rushing yards. Wayman Jordan for the first time, their junior college transfer.
This is what I anticipate SC trying to get into, just some handoff runs, get the run game going, not bring Jaden Mayava into it as far as an RPO type of game, and then kind of get him hit situation and pound the rock with these big tailbacks.
This was a Georgia Southern defense that was gashed in the second half last week. And gave up a bunch of yards on the ground and did not get a second half stop. They did go into the lead against Fresno State with the lead. So which Georgia Southern defense will we see? First half or second half? On the ground again. Ball was loose. Jordan gave it up. And Georgia Southern was the first there. That's a way to hang in on the road today if they can do a bunch of that. And it was Caleb Moore on top of the football.
Caleb Moore, the transfer from Southern Miss, goes over and rewards his head coach. The hat on the ball. 14 Prince Green the third. And the first turnover of the night goes the way of the Eagles. Great face on ball. Ball just gets off of Wayman Jordan's chest a little bit low and loose in terms of ball security, and that sideline is jacked.
Brendan Harrington, their best communicator on defense, was around the play as well. That was Georgia Southern's formula in the first half last week. They forced 3 turnovers and set up with good field position and plus territory for J.C. French at quarterback for the first time in the Coliseum. O.J. Arnold is running back, motions out. And a quick pop to Dalen Cobb on the first play from scrimmage. And he grinds out 4 yards on Georgia Southern's first play of the day.
Sounds like he's from Bel Air, but J.C. French, the 4th. Great job there on first down, getting 4 yards. 4 yards is a victory. They get 4 more yards here, 3rd and 2. You get away from defensive coordinator Danton Lynn's funk on 3rd down.
On 2nd down, French over the middle. That's tipped and almost picked. Desmond Stevens almost got there with Gentry in coverage underneath.
Eric Gentry, man, he could do it all, bluffing the blitz. The range, again, if this guy, 6'6", 18, watch the wingspan. Hooks with the back arm, illegally bats it away. And now it's 3rd, and Danton Lynn, defensive coordinator, can do this voodoo.
There you go. Action down at the bottom as a flag flies. Pass incomplete. And Cam Fountain came across early, bottom side for USC. This will likely be a 3rd and 1 coming with Georgia Southern player down. Kalen Williams, their left tackle.
Offside. Defense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So now this gets you in the zone right here. This is really 2 plays. As we see Kalen Williams down. This is what defensive coordinator Danton Lynn loves to do. Show everybody up, bail some compliment, bring 4. No doubt about it right there. Number 1, Cam Fountain, offside.
So Kalen Williams down, starting left tackle for Georgia Southern. Will step out before a 3rd and 1. Green forced fumble got Georgia Southern the ball, but the bad news, they get 1 tackle back today, Robert Wright, but they lose Kalen Williams on this opening drive for Georgia Southern.
Hard count, possible shot play right here as well.
On 3rd and 1, it is a shot play. French going up top, and the catch is made with a flag down. Camden Brown scores it for Georgia Southern.
Pass interference. Defense number 19. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
A dream start for Clay Helton and company. A great location. J.C. French, the 4th. No doubt about it. Bishop Fitzgerald, the and 1. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
So West and Bryan in there after just 1 snap last week at quarterback.
Caused 3 first-half turnovers against Fresno State. Couldn't turn them into touchdowns. Again, just a dream start, and they're going for 2.
And the conversion is no good. So Turner Helton throws it at the feet of his intended target, but getting different guys in the game. West and Bryan seeing early time after just 1 snap last week at quarterback. And it's a 6-0 start for Georgia Southern at USC here in the Coliseum. So Clay Helton back in the Coliseum. First drive, and his pass-heavy offense leads to a shot on 3rd and 1. Camden Brown plucks it out of the air, and the Eagles lead at 6-0 over the Trojans.
Well designed, thinking a QB run type of setup type thing. One-on-one matchup with that free play again. Going back to SC jumping off sides.
It's the look that Georgia Southern showed last week at Fresno State. Just the 1 snap for Bryan. And it was a quarterback run on 1st and goal. His first college pass, a memorable one. Lead 6-0 over USC. So turnover on the first drive in the run game. Wayman Jordan put it on the deck. And USC back out for the 2nd time.
Always worried about ball security. So many guys will play today in this system. The backs are deep, deep, deep. Receivers deep, deeper, maybe. Gotta survive that collision. See what Lincoln Riley does here. Philosophically, Wayman Jordan back in there.
A big test for USC all season long. Can they improve on their turnover number from last year? Put it back on the ground. USC last season led the Big Ten in turnovers.
21 turnovers. You talk about the difference makers. 1-score ball games, nine one-score games decided by 1 score or less. Turnovers a huge part of that.
Lincoln Riley was asked immediately after the game last week, after they won by 50 points, how do you keep your team motivated? Back-to-back a group of 5 opponents. Looking ahead to Georgia Southern this week, and kind of a wry smile. He said, "Oh, we got our ways."
We have our ways. Edge pressure.
Mayava stops, plants, has it complete. First down, and the wiggle of Lemon leads to a first down.
They bring Brandon Tyson off the edge here. Just kind of gets it in the space and face here. Jade Mayava, great job pulling up and execute. That's why I think he's so much like Sam Darnold. A lot of mannerisms, mechanics. Certainly the number contributes to that right there. Good job pulling up, execute on the cross.
Wearing number 14 definitely leads you to that comparison a little bit. There's Jordan. He's the shifty back, and back-to-back first downs. First Lemon through the air, now Jordan on the ground.
This guy's kind of a quicker than fast, but still powerful. Great job. Watch this lean. Get that iron tight. Get that iron tight. 2 hands through contact. A little spin cycle, first down.
We didn't see a bunch of Jordan and Sanders last week. Pretty light load. We've got Brian Jackson and King Miller in there for the second half bunch. screen for Tanook Hines, the freshman that has track speed. They don't let him get out in open space with the tackle from Chance Campbell.
The best thing I thought Lincoln Riley told us about Tanook Hines the other day is he was the fastest guy they tracked in their, you know, how they track guys with the tracers and all that technology, and he did it without the ball. He was sprinting to try to get in front of one of his buddies to spring a long play. Right there, rewarding him with a screen there early.
Was the Eli Sanders 73-yard touchdown. And Tanook Hines hit 23 miles an hour.
Just like you.
Right.
In the vehicle.
Well, that was you back in your Southern Oregon days.
Not the Hills.
Yep. Timeout for Georgia Southern before 2nd and 4.
Georgia Southern timeout. Their first of the half. 30 seconds.
USC on the march after the opening drive turnover led to 6 for the Eagles. And Georgia Southern has had a long stay here in California. They've been here 9 days. They played up at Fresno State last week, up near the Green V.
Yeah, this is their 2nd game ever in the state of California. Coach Helton was giving the people there, the Dallas Cowboys, that's their off-season training facility, giving them rave reviews, the infrastructure. I mean, just the lifelong memories that build out of a thing like that. And, you know, so far, so good on the scoreboard, no doubt.
Almost like a second training camp for them. How long they've been together. Instead of going cross-country twice, they
an equipment man's nightmare, but a joyous trip.
Andy Harris has had equipment in his hotel room all week. And Wayman Jordan lunges ahead. He is a little bit short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short coming for USC.
SC huddling here, defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern, Brianna Peterson. I hate these teams that huddle. I can't pick off the formations, the motions beforehand.
USC nearly unstoppable on 3rd down a week ago, 6 of 7. And on this 3rd down, Jordan dancing out to the edge. Now he's got space on the sideline. And the shifty back for USC has shown it twice on this drive, both for first downs.
Aiden Jackson in space on Wayman Jordan. This is where Wayman Jordan is so good. Watch this man, number 5. A little hesitation right there on the ground, and he's out to gate, first down.
So making up for his fumble on the first drive. Heavy dose of Jordan on this drive and shown some power and putting his shoulder pads down. Block from Elijah Page sprung him for a good first down carry.
Tapping out. This is where they're just so dangerous. Wayman Jordan, they'll tap out. Eli Sanders, the Iowa State, then New Mexico transfer. Deadly from the backfield as well.
All the carries have gone to Jordan so far. 7 carries, 51 yards. Already more carries than he had in week 1. Mayapa back to the air. One-on-one Lane. Oh, no. Hit with one hand. Ridiculous. Jacoby Lane. Come on.
Pass interference. Defense number 12. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
We said it last week. No touchdowns for Makai Lemon. Here's one for Jacoby Lane, his first of the year, maybe the catch of the year. A hold off, a double hold, push off with the left hand, go up with the right hand. Joined Jarrett Mike Williams. A lot of traditional big dudes mauling for touchdowns.
So, and 1 touchdowns galore.
Yes.
Saw that with Camden Brown. And USC takes a 1-point lead on the Ryan Sairi extra point after, I don't know, the catch of the week last week was from Miami. This one for week 2, I think that's at the top of the list. Anywhere in the country, maybe for the whole season. Jacoby Lane.
Grip strength. Oh, That's a poster. Do they make posters?
Still do. For that, they do. Jacoby Lane poster. Started on a 3rd and 1 for Georgia Southern, contested flag-ridden catch. And then Jacoby Lane. We got to see that again, right? Jacoby Lane for USC with a one-hander. If you just flipped over, you'll be seeing this on your social feed all night long.
The pride of Mesa, Arizona, Red Mountain High School had to play hoops, had to go get it with one and one. Wow. Show it to the people.
You know, we were at the USC facility yesterday, and we were, having the conversation. Lemon or Lane? If you had to have a 1-1 draft pick of how you start your team, it was basically split 50-50.
Yeah. Those two are phenomenal. Completely different players, but they're both tough, great with and without the ball. Crease.
Second drive for Georgia Southern after their touchdown on a 3rd down. It's O.J. Arnold for a 5-yard gain for the Eagles.
Big victory. Can't say enough. Offensive coordinator Ryan Applin said, yeah, usually first down's important. It's vital. They've got to be great on first and second down. Danny Lynn, defensive coordinator from SC, is a phenomenal voodoo man on 3rd down.
They go out to Dallas on the edge, and a good open field tackle brings up a 3rd down. Marcellus Williams with a hit for USC.
These guys are deep. Marcellus Williams coming downhill. Watch him trigger at that corner position, peek into the backfield, knowing he's got his buddy over the top. Can trigger to the ball and wrap him up. 3rd and 5.
This is right at that cutoff where USC became nationally elite last year on 3rd down. 3rd and 5 plus. Dantlin's defense almost impossible to crack. And pressure in the face of French, and he throws it away. Braylon Shelby, who had 2 sacks last week, almost got to the quarterback again for USC.
Just gets in his eyes enough there. As you said, Dalen Cobb is not ready for it. Ball comes out. It's not how many they bring, it's which 4 they bring. And right there, Braylon Shelby, a burst off the edge, 6'5", 265 in his face. Errant throw, punted away.
And the voodoo from that guy again, Dantlin.
Yep.
The right tackle, Robert Wright, remember he came in on that first drive because Kalen Williams, the starting left tackle, went out. Robert Wright had an ankle injury in the preseason. He was expected to play 15 to 20 snaps today, but we'll see now with Williams going out. That was a tough ask with a good pass rusher and a sore ankle for the right tackle for Georgia Southern. USC up by 1, getting the ball back when you come back.
Door and open one in Statesboro, Georgia, and he's loving it.
Jaden Mayava and USC back on the field, setting up the screen for the speedy Eli Sanders with pancakes galore around him, and he has a first down.
Justin Tau'unu'u. Watch him in space. Create a little cushion with the flat back to Prince Green the third. He said, hey, you recovered that fumble earlier, or you caused that fumble earlier. I'll get you back. Great effort that time from 73.
Well, this is a prove-it type game for the tackles for USC. There's some questions there. Tau'unu'u starting because the restructured line late in camp. Levin breaks out, and he can fly. Levin makes a cut, and he is home.
He brought it up in the open. Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane, nothing last week. Touchdowns number 1 and number 2 to these wideouts who blocked their tails off last week. Off to a great start through the air. The conventional way for those guys tonight.
Well, the only way that USC has been stopped so far this year, 2 fumbles. One in this game, one last week. They respond to the opening drive fumble with those two headlining guys that could be first-round picks at wide receiver. First it was Lane, this time it's Lemon for 63.
Good protection. There was a late ad from Harrington, and here's a physicality part of him that is underrated. It shows up in the return game as a blocker, and then breaking tackles. Makai Lemon, the little guy, 5'11", 200, to the house.
Okay, so yesterday's vote, who would you start your team with at wide receiver? Split.
Yes.
One touchdown apiece.
One apiece, man. And we saw it in practice. Oh, there was a little burst from Jaden Mayava. We saw the zigging and zagging. Maybe that thought that ball might come out. Good little burst from him as well.
Let's see what the GPS tracking has on that.
Yeah.
See if he got up to 20 miles an hour. So the opening drive fumble followed by Lemon and Lane touchdowns. Those were the two guys talking to Brandon Bailey.
Sounds like a refreshing beverage.
It does.
Lemon and Lane.
$73 points last week for USC and 14 in a hurry in the middle of this first quarter. After Georgia Southern started 6-0 off of the turnover.
Had the one fumble, as you said last week, but the first unit, so to speak, played very cleanly. A couple formation issues that they'll clean up as they go.
What was impressive about last week, Lane and Lemon didn't have any of those 9 touchdowns. They have the first 2 today. J.C. French takes off and slides as a couple of Trojans collide, including Shelby, who was harassing him on that last drive.
Shelby and Gentry just met at J.C. French to fourth, and they're going to reload it here, tempo style.
Out of the belly of Arnold, into the hands of Dallas, who makes the cut. First down, Josh Dallas, where they get touches in a lot of different ways. Screen game, run game, all the above.
Yeah, great job on the perimeter. Amon Green in for the injured River Helms, the tight end position, blocking his tail off, and they could not say enough great things about Josh Dallas.
Named a captain this year, and it drew some emotion from him. Him and his twin brother have played for Georgia Southern. Brother medically retiring.
Count trying to take a look at this 6-man box. This is a runnable situation here for 1-2. Numbers are good.
And Ramsey added in there late, so it ended up being 7 guys in the box.
Sometimes the numbers don't matter. Yeah, the nickel effectively going with the motion man. The numbers were still good to run the ball. But right here, Jade Abasiri says, not on my watch. Watch 97 in the middle. It's going to be a battle of the counter plays today, showing up right there over the top. Battle of the counter plays. Both of these teams run a ton of counter guard and tackle pulling, the guard and H-back guard and tight end, all varieties.
Big advantage for USC in the run game with these 2 units out there. Georgia Southern did not run it well last week. And Badinga fights for an extra yard or 2 out to the 50. Got 5 yards to bring up 3rd down.
Good job being patient here. Offensive coordinator Ryan Applin. Doing a nice job mixing it, staying patient, staying in 3rd and management. 3rd and 6 is a much more enjoyable calling situation. 3rd and 10 from App Stater.
He called a very good 3rd down offense last year. Georgia Southern 2nd best in the Sun Belt on 3rd down. Facing a 3rd and 6 after USC got off the field 3rd and 5 last time. French to the sideline and a diving try from Cobb with 2 flags out. And Jason Johnson was in coverage. And 2 flags down.
Pass interference. Defense number 21.
In good
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's the hardest part. You hear the word patience out of DB. Right here where the patience, watch the hold, the push. That can't happen until number 1's arms go up. It's just a little bit early right there on Dalen Cobb. Good call.
And that's where Georgia Southern, if they're going to move the ball today, right, it's through the air. Pass-heavy offense.
Yeah, try to find these one-on-one matchups. We saw it on the touchdown. And this is kind of the shot zone if they want to dig into their bag of tricks, this is an area where they could do it.
Inside the 50, definitely prone to trick plays, especially when they get high red zone. Clean pocket, French lets it fly and over Brown's head. And incomplete with Kamari Ramsey covering him.
Good coverage by Kamari Ramsey. Kamari Ramsey is such a stud in every regard. The former UCLA defender came with Danton Lynn, taking a shot as he just as you said, basically threw that ball away. Play the next down.
He's got grass stains all over him. He's got blood on the knee.
Probably loves it. Loves it.
And USC getting after him with that front early in this game. The quarterback for Georgia Southern. He's running away again. He flips it out to Green. His tight end who is smothered. Herd of Trojans get there, led by Gentry. Also had help from Floyd Bucard to bring up third down.
Great recognition. Defense coordinator Danton Lynn has a little twist game. They're trying to set up a screen, set up a play action pass, the action going the other way. Very, very well pursued that time by multiple players. Gentry is always on the scene, as you said, Bucard as well.
So a third down and 14. Drive extended on the pass interference on a 3rd and 6. And pressure up the middle, down he goes. French sacked by Anthony Lucas, the first of his career, to make it 4th down.
And transfer here, inside charge. He's right here. Just a little inside charge. They try to pass him off. There's a bunch of moving parts trying to get that all the way over to Caleb Cook, 78. Watch him work across that twist game. He's picking for his buddy.
Number 95.
And as it often happens, it's like a screen and roll, right? Set the screen, roll to the QB, and find him.
Part of that celebration for Lucas feels like sweat off the brow, like, phew, I finally got a sack. He led USC in pressures last year, but didn't have a sack. And this punt checks up. We'll see where they spot it. And they got it at the 15. The NFL regular season kicks off on Fox tomorrow as the Giants take on reigning Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels, and the Commanders. Or the Niners take on the Seahawks, or other regional action. The NFL is back tomorrow on Fox. Full Slade, kick the feet up.
Awesome. Clay Helton's jacked every time Mekhi Lemon does not touch that ball in the return game. It's a touchback, or the ball goes, the punt went out of bounds right there. He's a happy man.
Lemon had the ball in his hands for 63 yards and a touchdown for the last score for USC. The drive before that, it was Jacoby Lane. Justin Myers saved that from getting to the second level with Wayman Jordan. USC, the first couple of weeks, it's a first down per play and then some.
That's when you got it humming. Last week they got the seconds, the thirds, the fourths in on the act. So far tonight, Lincoln Riley dialing it up. Again, with the exception of that turnover, looking good. A lot more 12 personnel, 2 tight ends right here, along with 2 wideouts and 1 running back.
Back in the belly of Jordan, and a first down.
A mere 5-yard gain, but it's a first down.
Yeah, 7 yards, 5 yards, good most times, but when you're averaging 10 a play, what are we doing?
Timeout for a defensive injured player.
And Brandon Tyson, an inside linebacker for Georgia Southern, one of their top players this season on defense.
Him and Brendan Harrington in there. They said that Harrington, the definite leader, he's the green dot, but Tyson is, I love his description of, he's captain-like. So he has all the great traits. Good to see him up under his own power.
Tyson went down on the 5-yard run for Jordan. Georgia Southern Lost their left tackle, Kalen Williams, on the first drive on offense, and Tyson back up and jogging back toward the defensive group.
Man, you talk about a group of people, that medical, we talked about the equipment people earlier, but the medical group, the trainers, I just think of all the stuff that goes into basically moving to California for 2 weeks. Living in Oxnard, traveling or practicing the Cowboys facility. Amazing undertaking for that group.
You got a bus full of stuff, you got a truck full of stuff. Shoulder pads are flying to make sure they're back for practice on Monday. Tyson checks out, and Mayava back to the air. There's Lemon again. He breaks away, foot on the gas. Lemon for 74, one-upping himself.
It's just a situation as they celebrate together. See him on the sidelines when you can run the football, sets up the play action world, and it's everything on the menu available for that man, Jaden Mayava. We'll take a look at it after the break.
Mayava 7 of 7.
It's 100%.
It is 100%. After his 3 incompletions last week, and he's got a fun couple of gadgets out there on the edge with Lemon and Lane, who he's hit for 3 touchdowns.
And the key to it, you've got Jordan Sanders in the backfield. One goes in motion. They're communicating on that and delivered perfectly to that man. And he just kicks into that high gear. No chance that time for recovery for Georgia Southern. We've seen a lot of that, a lot of galloping 14.
After dropping dimes, Jade Mayava. And averaging 16 yards a play today on 16 plays. And a perfect recovery after that opening drive fumble. Similar to last week, they went down 3-0 and then
took care of the rest.
Yeah, yes. They put it on in week 1 against Missouri State. First 6 to Georgia Southern, next 21 to USC. And not returnable, and the Eagles will come back out on offense. Third down score, went 3rd and 1, and they snuck their freshman Weston Bryant into the game. And since then, they have been stopped on 3rd down a couple of times, including in plus territory their last time on the field.
Yeah, that's where they just got to be smart to help J.C. French the fourth, and then this O-line situation with the, not everybody is healthy in there. Against 71, Robert Wright Jr., he was the original starter who was hurt, but it's supposed to be back just on a limited basis. He's going to have to play a ton, and this is a tough opponent to do it against.
Rip it out to the edge and incomplete through the hands of Dalen Cobb. Might have had something there if he makes that catch.
Definitely just needs to put it on the other armpit, and he's still running. That's the type of thing you're dialing up, and that's the chance you got to execute. Just a little bit too much mustard on that from J.C. French the fourth. Is that Lil Jaw?
That's Jakeem Stewart down in the bottom side for USC. Their 5-star freshman defensive lineman. And French, rips it to the sideline for Marcus Sanders and a first down.
5-man rush that time. Jakeem Stewart. Big Jaw Jamal Jarrett gave 4 the nickname Lil Jaw. So right here, his first action. Everybody at least gets in French's lap to a degree, but a good job ripping that one to the field after the miss on the screen, moving the chains.
First and 10 in the belly of Arnold. And a flag comes out. A couple of flags come out. Another lineman down. Caleb Cook down behind the play for Georgia Southern. After they already lost Kalen Williams, their left tackle.
No relation, but that's what they want. Big Jaw eventually in there with Lil Jaw.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense number 0. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
You'll see 0 in the box here. This is why it was moving so much. Of course he disagrees. The big fella starts right here. Move in the center on the back block and just gets his hands up in his face mask, no doubt about it.
Back-to-back drives with a penalty for first down for Georgia Southern. French double pop into traffic and picked off. DeCarlos Nicholson played it beautifully deep down the field.
Good news, bad news here for Georgia Southern. They pick up the pressure. You see the edge pressure coming. They pick it up. J.C. French steps into it. But he does not see D-Nick, they call him, DeCarlos Nicholson, trapping him in, coming over the top. That is a great play over the top of Desmond Stevens II, taking him right into his lap.
After Jalen Smith went to the NFL and at USC was 15th in the Big Ten in pass defense last year. The big question on the defense was at corner. How would they look at corner? First couple of weeks, Danton Lynn has been really, really happy with what he's gotten from that room. Another thing to put on tape to keep that opinion going. Carlos Nicholson comes up with the interception. So 3 straight touchdowns for the USC offense after the fumble. And here's Eli Sanders out the back door with a first down out around the 35.
Eli Sanders, the ball carrier.
87, Lake McCree looking like a young Petros Papadakis right there on the back block. Watch him coming backside. And then just a wide open gash here. Good job, front side push, Elijah Page. Sanders hits it for the big game.
Be the Merle Haggard music.
That's right.
19-yard hit for Eli Sanders. Mayava feet set behind in his first incompletion of the day. He had another shot to Mekhi Lemon that probably goes.
That's the right reaction right there. He can't believe it. He comes back and Mekhi Lemon basically on the version of the same route he scored on. He gets the stack release opportunity onto Jacoby Lane, and he can't believe it. He's like, wait, hey. He's like, wait, is somebody in front of me? No, we just missed that one.
It was a 7-7 start for Mayava.
Formation in the boundary here, three to the boundary. Lone receiver up top is Lemon.
And some pressure off the edge from Jackson. Screen goes the other way, and Georgia Southern is all over. Sanders had nowhere to go. Caleb Moore runs him down from his tackle position.
Brandon Tyson, Caleb Moore both get out there to combine on the stop. 17 and counting here to see if they take this corner or if Lincoln Riley gets one more play in. Great rally to get him to the ground.
Great to see Tyson back out there.
Yes.
Expected to be, if not their top tackler, their second top tackler on the year. After he went down injured earlier. Final snap of the quarter, and it's broken up. Well covered. Making his USC punting debut after he was at Valparaiso last year.
Doesn't have much practice, short one.
It took 5 quarters, but we finally see Sam Johnson, who was one of the best punters in FCS football last year. Georgia Southern, there was talk at their team hotel yesterday when we met with them. Mark Helfrich is here. That must mean there's some magic in the air.
It's the first time ever people were excited to see me. That was amazing.
Yeah, Kyle
we were on hand, yes.
Yep. They beat Nebraska 45-42 for their second win over a power conference team ever.
Huge upset, winning that with a ton of confidence, and Clay Helton kind of called his shot the night before. He knew they were in for a little bit different battle today.
That win in 2022 against Nebraska was the second game of Clay Helton's career at Georgia Southern. The year before Georgia Southern moved to the FBS, they won at Florida in 2013. And a quick pop and a first down. Terrence Gibbs, one of the best recruits they've ever had, has been slow to get back from a knee injury in high school, and he has 17 yards here.
Nice job execution-wise. Offensive coordinator Ryan Applin dialing up a little tempo here. Try to keep SC from subbing, do everything that they can do. Get the ball out in rhythm and avoid this pass rush.
First drive score off of a turnover in a short field for Georgia Southern. Since then, nothing. And back-to-back
Nice
occasions,
catch.
and good adjustment for Dallas to reach back and grab that one for 6 yards.
That's the beyond the back shoulder, all the way outside the frame, all the way outside the 9. Great adjustment by Dallas. That's again a workman-like 5-yard gain, second and anything you want right here.
That's what J.C. French said was the biggest thing, and he admitted that's kind of a cliche. First down always important.
Nice.
Good play on first down leads to Terrence Gibbs on second down, making this a 3rd and short.
Yeah, Kamari Ramsey in space. Watch 7. The ball's going to cut back right here in space, and you think it's coming out the gate right there. Such a good play. It's going to be a battle all night to try to block him. Elite player in every phase.
A good 3rd down offense last year against an elite nationally ranked 3rd down defense in USC. All bunched up on a 3rd and short. And it's Bedinga off of the fake pitch. At just 5'7", he is their best between the tackles guy, and he's got a first down.
It's one out of the archives right there. Basically a little, could do this with jet sweep, or otherwise they fake the toss and hand it to the belly. Bedinga moves the chains.
Showed the Nebraska highlights. That's almost
a little
old school Nebraska.
Coach Osborne reminisce.
Well, the drive survives as J.C. French and Georgia Southern stay ahead of the sticks. And they do again with Bedinga. Flag is out. Helmet is off for Amon Green, the tight end. And I have a feeling that's where the flag came out.
Yeah, Amon Green has been in a couple battles. Definitely someone's hands to the face right there. Can't say enough here of this front and the patience of this run game for Georgia Southern.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Maddock, first down. Number 7 for Georgia Southern can stay in the game since his helmet came off due to foul.
That's what I was going to say right there, as Jason Nickleby sells it because his helmet comes off because of the foul of Shelby. He can stay in the game. Hard to get all that hair inside that big helmet there from the 7. Never had that problem.
Amon Green in there for River Helms today, who was out injured. Got a shoulder injury late last week. Bedinga is stormed down. He did get a yard. Shelby, a little bit of redemption after the penalty, out to get him.
A good pursuit right there by Shelby, as you said, redeeming, and actually a great job of Bedinga to make that a, not a tackle for loss. He was in trouble there. Good bounce. Helton, if he's got his tricks right here, this is a normal spot. He's always got 3 or 4 in this area, kind of the high red area to about the 40.
Brings Cobb in motion. Gentry backs out there.
Boy.
And a wide open man. It's a touchdown. Camden Brown again. And Georgia Southern back within a score.
Watch just the miscommunication here. It's between 19, 2, and 10. They're trying to play that out like a bunch, and you see a lot of palms up, a lot of, hey, me, you, me. Good design and a great location by J.C. Fretch, the fourth.
Something at the end of the half last week.
Yes, yep.
They were in man, two guys went to one and led to a touchdown.
Yep. And that's basically what that turned into, a version of a bunch with the back, the receiver, and the tight end up top. That's basically how you defend a bunch. Well designed by Clay Hilton and company. And you got a ball game.
Camden Brown, they think he could be the first ever 1,000-yard receiver at Georgia Southern.
All right, back at the Coliseum, and here's what happened, exactly what we thought. So we've got a receiver, a tight end, and a running back. That's three. And then there's four defenders up top that have to zone this off. And this looks to me like Bishop Fitzgerald 19. Right here, he's got to get back over the top. They've got four, make them check the ball down. As you said last week, they got beat on a similar thing, a different coverage. But that's great design. You can see that communication afterwards saying, hey, Kamari Ramsey, I think that means, hey man, get over the top.
A short kick. Lemon is electrifying, as we've seen already today. And a tackle from Bryce Baker stopped him from getting out to the edge.
He was gone. Bryce Baker, great effort.
Okay, so 270 yards. Calculating that times 4. They're on pace, USC's offense, for 1,080 yards in this game.
Uh-oh. See Makai Lemon there, 6 of a little limp. It was literally an ankle tackle right there at the end. Think they're going to over 1,000?
That's a big ask.
More 12 personnel, one back, 2 tight ends.
With Lemon out of there after the return, they run a little option. Mayava pitches to Jordan, and he rides that out to the sideline. Give him 7 yards.
That's where Lincoln Riley, the Mike Leach disciple, you lose your air raid card right there when you run the option on zone read. So many running plays, so many counter actions, 12 personnel. I think he's kicked out of the club.
Is it a card or is it a sword in the air raid club, isn't it?
That's a nice one here for the Trojan man, too.
Yeah, Mike Leach's thing, swing your sword. 2nd down and 4 for Mayava. Steps away from some pressure and is off target. Wanted Lake McCree.
Dorian Smith. I think he kind of lost that in the sun. McCree stumbled at the top of his route. Lake McCree looks all kinds of 100% back and just lost his footing at the top of that. That's good for the Trojan Nation to see Makai Lemon back full speed, or what appears to be full speed.
Lemon was grabbing his ankle after the kick return and almost bounced outside. Back in there for the first time on this drive. On a 3rd down, Mayava was looking his way. Pocket closed. He fades away, firing for lead. Who makes the catch? A flag is down behind the play as he drags a pile to the 15. Flag is down at the 40. For now, it's a 53-yard hit for Lane.
And it's going to be upheld, isn't it? Where it goes.
Pass interference
on the defense.
Defense, number 12. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a foul.
Tracy Hill Jr., let's not forget, 6'2", 200. There's the hold. There's the turn. And then Georgia Southern certainly saying here at the end, hey, how about that push? But there's always been a couple violations. Those two cancel out that last one. And USC flipping the field. 1st and 10 inside the 15.
Lane with 2 catches for 65 yards. Lemon with 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 possible first-round picks and wideout. Having a big first half. And Jordan runs the legs down to the 10-yard line. Got halfway to another first down. Yeah, there's some pride for Georgia Southern today, too, with Tracy Hill, who we just saw in coverage of, can we hang and maintain 2 guys that, if they have big years, will likely go in the first round of the NFL draft?
Yep.
And so far, no.
No, and it's not all they're doing. This 14's pretty good, and then the ability to play action pass, putting in one stomach or two stomach, and creating some big old gashing space in that secondary. Difficult to deal with.
And Mayava keeps this one, and weaving his way to the opposite side. He's brought down by Harrington. And here's a third down and short for USC.
Nice job rallying to the ball. Zone read, just garden variety zone read right there, making Mayava pull it. And a really good job rallying to him. See if Lincoln Riley got 2-on-1 up top right now. If they recognize that, there's nobody lined up. There they go.
Justin Myers gets out there late at safety. So 2-on-2 top side. On 3rd and 3, off play action. Mayava trying to escape, and he has to throw it away. And Tyson had pressure off the edge, so did Prince Green, who forced the fumble earlier. And another third down stop for Georgia Southern after they forced the punt at the end of the first quarter.
Really good job matching that route. Turned into basically a pick play, and nobody was there. And right there, Lincoln Riley was looking at the replay on the jumbotron. The only thing he could possibly do there was bang it to Lake McCreed. Probably wouldn't have got the first down. So that's almost a win decision there for Mayava to throw it through the end zone and let him kick.
Ryan Sairi had never attempted a college kick before last week. And they kept him busy with all those PATs on the touchdowns. And his second career field goal. And he didn't want the fans to know it is Ryan Sairi. So he extends the lead for the Trojans just off the beach. Even offensive player of the week game that Jade Mayava had last week. We're going through all the decisions that Jade Mayava made last week with Lincoln Riley. He said the shots that he didn't take
was a step in the right direction.
That was growth from last year when he did get a little turnover and shot happy at times.
And that's another example right there that probably last year he tries to bounce it outside and maybe get sacked, or put it up in a dangerous location. Now give it up to your defense. Try and get after this Georgia Southern unit.
Georgia Southern's defense held USC to a field goal inside the red zone. And they'll try to drive the field like they did last time with the ball. And French to the sideline, and he threads it in, but out of bounds. Josh Dallas was on the white, didn't get the 1 foot in needed.
He let that go. I thought it was going to be picked, but I thought it was going to be caught. This is a great location with this ball. Little counter fake guard pull action, and who is in coverage? Eric Gentry. 6'6", 225, running stride for stride. Ball clearly loose by the time he hits the paint.
Dallas did limp off, and Georgia Southern puts it on the ground after they stretch the field. With Dallas, it's O.J. Arnold for a first down.
Talked about the counter fest. Great job right here. They're going to go fast. 2 pullers, right guard, right tackle. 1st and 10.
Look one way, throw the other. Dalen Cobb has 3 blockers out there and consecutive first downs. This one for Dalen Cobb from J.C. French.
Nice job, really good job. The center, 57, Chandler Strong, getting out on that screen. Very athletic maneuver, create some space, popping that screen for offensive coordinator Ryan Applett. USC doing the slow substitute, recognize, then run off at a, quote, athletic pace.
We've heard that all offseason.
When they're running to their quarterback, the athletic pace is much different.
Subjective, of course. The French protected. Amon Green with the first down. Another helmet came flying off. No flag comes out as Robert Wright picks up his lid, and 3 straight first downs for J.C. French and Georgia Southern.
Yeah, they're feeling good about themselves. The counter for the first down, screen for the first down, and watch this protection. And you see Braylon Shelby pop the lid off, but nice strike to Amon Green in rhythm from J.C. French, the 4th.
Points on this drive for Georgia Southern, and they would have more points than they had all game last week when they lost 42-13.
Tricks.
Here's Cobb, and he's taken down. The long wingspan of Eric Gentry before the tricks evolve.
The backward pass, trying to set up. They've got multiple options here. Watch what they do. End up with a little bluff and go. This is going to be backwards. There's a trick up here, but watch SC match it all. Backward pass. We're not buying it. We know you're Clay Helton. We've seen those tricks before. Good defense, good eyes, good discipline for USC.
Quick rip to the sideline for Cobb, and it'll be third down. That was what Danton Lynn said a couple of times to us yesterday. USC's defensive coordinator, we are on high alert with the trick plays that Georgia Southern will throw at you.
There's another right where this ball is, a great spot for like a sluggo, a slant and go. If you can find any situation, whether it's zone or man, to what turns into a man situation, which that guy likes to avoid. So we'll see what he dials up if he does his little zone pressure, dropout, simulated pressure, showing a too high zone, and they're going to drop down to single high.
And it's a quarterback run with French, and he's run down by Gentry right before he got to the sticks. The length of Gentry shows up a third time on this drive at 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan.
And J.C. French, the fourth, on his diet. He's a couple steps faster, a little quarterback counter, and a good combination play that time from Marcellus Williams and Eric Gentry.
And he is sub-4 mark on fourth down. Weston Bryant, who threw the touchdown on the first drive, is back out there. A physical runner who was recruited by Mississippi State to be a tight end.
Right in the hip pocket of the headlines when here. Right might take a timeout. He's going to let it wind down here. And
Timeout. Georgia Southern, their second of the half. Seconds.
All right, so we saw the run last week in short space for Bryant for Georgia Southern. USC now knows that he can throw it. Does this get behind the shoulder pads and grind it out, or you put it in the air again with Bryant?
It'll be interesting. I'm still trying to find J.C. French, the fourth on the sideline. There he is. He's right next. You see 9 and 12. That's both quarterbacks. He's putting the lid back on, so it looks like it could be the conventional quarterback. So go back to build a bunch. A man zone beater to the bunch type of side. Or you've got basically a 2-point play type of thing, a third and medium, one of your favorite route concepts right here on 4th and 2. That's where you dial that up from. Build a bunch with motion here, either direction. Could be the tight end to down here.
Fourth down and 2. French back in there.
Tailback.
Away from pressure. He dropped it. O.J. Arnold didn't secure it before he turned the corner. And it goes back to USC.
J.C. French, the fourth, just feels the edge pressure. Designed rollout, and they've got a chance. O.J. Arnold.
Georgia Southern playing ball control. 2 more minutes of time on the ball. But USC back with it, and an open Lake McCree for a first down. With Maiava floating it to his tight end out to the 45.
Maiava took a shot. Great anticipation right here by Jaden Maiava to find the crosser Lake McCree. You'll see 87 come from the top and work with him. And then the late spin move pressure gets home just after the fact of Jacob Ferguson. That is a big athletic tight end. He's fun to watch.
Your eyes got a little wide pregame looking at him. He is back to full strength after last year having knee issues. Eli Sanders makes it back-to-back first downs for USC. Give him 15 on that carry.
Kind of does double duty right there, playing fullback, showing the full Monty of versatility, setting the edge, ensuring the edge, getting up to the corner. Sanders in business.
First down with McCree, first down with Sanders. Now plus territory for USC. And another wide open man. Jacoby takes the high route. Gets tangled up, but almost clear Devin Collier. A little early for the
which Olympic Games is it? Yeah,
high hurdles at 28
or whatever. Edwin Moses. We thought he got on the highlight reel early on with the one-hand touchdown catch. Get up! Oh, a faceful first down. Put that ball away. That is scary.
Timeout for a defensive injured player.
Almost the full Vince Carter.
I did not see when that defender went down, if it was after the point at which the ball was set down. Georgia Southern will have to use a timeout here.
It's Prince Green. He's made a couple of plays in this game for Georgia Southern, including forcing the fumble on the game's opening drive. Georgia Southern lost Kalen Williams, their left tackle. Their first offensive drive, few plays in. Brandon Tyson went out for a play, then came back. Now it's Prince Green down. Green back up walking. First down and 10 ahead for USC. Next weekend, start your Saturday strong with big noon as quarterback Dante Moore leads Oregon's explosive attack against Northwestern in their first Big Ten game of the year. It all starts at 10 Eastern. Live from Evanston with big noon kickoff. Then it's Oregon and Northwestern, only on Fox. And Northwestern opened their home schedule last night with a win. Oregon big over Oklahoma State just before our game.
Fighting Mike Gundy's.
Some talking going on before that game, huh? And Mayava, a little flip out to Lyons on the edge. Clear path, touchdown. First career touchdown for Walker Lyons.
Loaded up to stop the run. Great design. We'll take a look at this after the kick. RPO. That's just the old-fashioned slide route, keep him behind the line of scrimmage so offensive players can block downfield. And guess who did? The hurdler, one-armed catch man, Jacoby Lane, doing a great job.
This might be the first time he's gotten that description on his talents. The hurdler, one-armed catch man. Well put, though. Jacoby Lane clears the path for Walker Lyons in his first touchdown of his college career.
So two-part watch. Walker Lyons come behind the line of scrimmage, stays behind the line of scrimmage. Jade Mayava sees it clear. Now you can see the one wide up blocking out, and there's Jacoby Lane doing his best. Dorian Smith, no chance to make a play. Doing the dirty work, doing the pretty work. What's been so impressive about these skill guys the last couple games, and I think what's scary to the rest of college football, there's a lot of athletic dudes doing a lot of unselfish things.
We mentioned Chinook Hines earlier, but it's the headlining stars too, yes, with Lane and Levin. Quick scoring drive against Brendan Harrington and Georgia Southern's defense. USC has stretched it out 31-13 after a fourth down stop, got him the ball back. 12th different guy that has scored a touchdown in almost 6 quarters for USC. Lyons, one of the most improved guys in fall camp, according to Lincoln Riley. Lyons had gone on his Mormon mission, come back, and the physical transformation since that has been the biggest on the team. the new strength coach, plus getting him back from his mission. And he's rewarded with his first touchdown. All right, Georgia Southern had it 4th and 2 at the 22 in plus territory. Drop pass, stalled the drive as they tried to make it a one-score game again. Now before the half, if they can score and get the ball back, they could find their way back in it.
Yep, and 3:31, one timeout. Gotta be smart here. Again, they're banged up on the offensive line. So this is where just get a little probing run. They've done a nice job in the run game. Or just a easy, which was hard to come by against this defense. Easy play catch, chain mover. See what they decide.
One timeout and 3:31 to try to drive down. That's a very positive start for O.J. Arnold. Give him 13 and a first down.
They've done a nice job just with that conventional run game. Now they've got to sustain this. 3:20. It'll be old school rules under 2 minutes after the 2-minute timeout.
Big question for Georgia Southern coming into the game. Could they run the ball? Could they find any success there? They have in the first half. Amon Green on the quick pitch out. And he's halfway to another first down.
Amon Green, man, he's really impressed. Blocking. He's got his lid knocked off a couple times. Probably too many braids underneath. That's, again, impressive. But River Helms, losing him in this game, he has stepped up and done a nice job.
First down run for Arnold, 6-yard catch for Green. Now on 2nd and 4. It's back to Arnold, who's tripped up before he can break it, but he's got another first down. The tackle by Nicholson saved that from being a real explosive play.
Carlos Nicholson coming downhill, under control. Good left arm tackle. Unbalanced look here. All the eligibles are up top.
The 2-minute timeout is looming, and they do snap it before. French can't get away, and down he goes into the hands of Fountain. He escaped Abasiri, but Fountain was right there to pick him up. So the 2-minute timeout has arrived in the first half, with Lincoln Riley and USC up 31-13. Georgia Southern driving, getting the ball out of halftime with 2 to go until the break. Steph, Florida game went final right before our game kicked off. Big win against Boise State last week, and then the Bulls beat Florida today. So stay tuned for the guys breaking that down at the half. J.C. French and Georgia Southern on 2nd down. He slings it incomplete behind Camden Brown, who has a couple of first half touchdowns.
That's just as well. Right there was a little counter cell play action. That would have been a 4-yard gain. Tackled inbounds with the clock running. 3rd and it is better. Sets up a 3rd and extra long, so Danton Lynn, defensive coordinator for USC, can bring his voodoo. Right now just showing a 3-man front, and then he'll add somebody. Who are we gonna add, Coach Lynn?
Georgia Southern on 3rd and long. Down French goes again. Anthony Lucas home twice today after waiting his whole career to get one. He gets 2 on a Saturday at the Coliseum.
Starts with this 3-man rush, and there's Anthony Lucas lining up. It's a version of a cross dog with Desmond Stevens. Turns into a pick, and he gets on the edge of Pishon Wembley. Lincoln Riley says, thank you very much, timeout. Let's get the ball back. Great defense.
Thank you.
28 games before this for Anthony Lucas in his college career. A ton of pressure, no sacks, and he's home again. And USC keeps the heat up on 3rd and long. 0 for 4 now for that Georgia Southern offense on 3rd and long.
Yeah, you don't want to play Danton Lynn, defensive coordinator, in anything that starts with 3rd and 9+. You know, again, we talked about the offensive line from Georgia Southern. They battled. That is a hard, that's a hard deal to get done against, or with your everybody in there fresh and full stock.
Well, maybe if you're thinking back to that 4th and 2 at the 22, why didn't Georgia Southern kick a field goal? They have a true freshman kicker who hasn't attempted a college kick yet. So you just don't know how true freshman kicker handles the moment, what exactly his range might be. USC got the stop, went down and scored. Now they have it again. They can run their 2-minute offense to extend a 31-13 lead.
Yeah, so Buck 31, 2 timeouts. Great experiences. Lincoln Riley was telling his sister, man, this guy, he's so competitive. He doesn't make the same mistake twice. And he's building up his football IQ one step at a time. Had a ton of success, obviously, at UNLV to end up at a place like SC. These types of moments down with 131 and 2 timeouts. Great time to go to work.
They empty it out for him on 1st down. Slides the pocket and incomplete. Jacoby Lane was tied up with Hayden Jackson. Well, you bring up this moment for Maiava and USC as a whole. Last year, 2-minute situations, 1-score games. That was the thing that bit him big time.
Yep, and just slid right there. You saw him kind of falling off the mound away. Very difficult to be accurate. Got to get your momentum, your hips coming to the target. And yeah, that's what this game might not come down to that, but you're 100% right. Turnovers, the 1-score games kind of compiled against SC last season.
Sanders through 1 tackle, not the 2nd.
And Lincoln Riley told us yesterday, he said, hey man, this is a 10-win roster. This roster we have right now is a 10-win roster. And then he kind of goes, wait, last year was 2. And there's 9 games decided by 1 score or less. And the wrong end too many times.
Prince Green showing pressure down at the bottom.
4-by-1.
Clock inside a minute, 3rd down. Maiava on the roll and into traffic, incomplete. Green dropped out of there and ends up being the one that picks it up. The whistle has not blown yet. And Georgia Southern returns it back to the 20.
We're going to back this up. This is unbelievable. I think this did not hit the ground. Let's take a look, and this is exactly what you're talking about. Nate McCree in protection, breaks outside.
4th down.
It's kicked and caught. That ball looked like it was kicked. Brandon Tyson, let's take a look.
51 seconds, please. 5-1.
It looks like it. From that angle, you can't see it hit the ground. It hits Tyson's foot. It will definitely be reviewed.
Dorian Smith, at first
Johnny on the spot.
He thought that ball had hit the ground. He stopped.
There it is. There's the better angle. Yep, no doubt about that. That hits the ground. That other angle is why they kept playing, and rightly so. Play everything as a live ball, but no doubt about it, that hit the ground.
That could have been a huge call too, because Georgia Southern would have been down at the 20, getting the ball out of halftime.
Yes, and good by the officials there, letting that play out. They did not blow the whistle, and then made it right, quote unquote, on the field. Wow. It's a lot of highlights. That would have been an all-timer right there. Kick 6 version something else.
Sam Johnson out to punt for USC. And blocked with Roach, and he put that at the ground, but recovers himself. Hank Pepper, the long snapper, was right there if that squirted any further away, but Georgia Southern avoids it. And back behind their own 20, 43 seconds and 1 timeout to go do something.
We need some noise for the Trojans.
See what they do here again. Similar situation, just obviously a lot less time, 43 seconds. Take care of the rock. Don't put it at risk.
Keep in mind, Trip Bryant has not attempted a college field goal yet. That's their true freshman place kicker. See if they can get it down in his range. And it is a conservative start with Bedinga.
Another counter play on the night that takes our counter total to off the charts.
Infinity.
Yes.
Georgia Southern getting the ball at halftime. Looks like they'll just let it ride.
Yeah, when you're backed up like this, dodging a couple bullets there, both offensively and special teams.
Bedinga is flat down. There's a flag down. 5 seconds until the half. We will check the marker.
He's doing the official to official communication right there. He's not talking to us yet. Trying to get Clay Helton's opinion. So obviously this is on SC.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down. Georgia Southern has chosen to start the clock on the snap. Please reset the game clock to 5 seconds, please.
So you get the penalty yard. Did you go take a shot here? You can still take the approach and take it to the half.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, if they're starting the ball, they're going to at least snap it here. Looks like they're going to run what they just ran the previous play. Just run a little split zone, a little insert, and
just take
it to the locker room.
Georgia Southern will get the ball out of halftime, chasing 17 with USC showing off that explosive offense for the second straight week. And a couple of possible first-round picks in the NFL draft. Those two guys in Lemon and Lane, and it'll be Georgia Southern getting the ball first after USC starts the second half with a touchback. So J.C. French and Georgia Southern, they were a 4th down and 2 conversion at the plus 22 away from making it a 1-score game shortly before halftime.
And we thought on the previous play, J.C. French, the 4th, had an opportunity to get vertical. Better play. Got to give SC credit for getting him on the ground. Had a chance to get there, and certainly that 4th down. That's one of those ones against the scout team. Feels and looks really good, but there's a couple men of Troy coming off the edge at a little bit higher speed.
So the second half begins with the traditional run game with O.J. Arnold. The sack numbers don't do justice to what was a pretty successful first half on the ground for Georgia Southern.
They really have done a nice job of just that previous play. A nice little 4-yard gain. You can see how SC is playing a too-high show. They're playing it kind of conservatively, make you take it the distance.
Back-to-back touches for Arnold, and he meets Gentry out on the edge. Just give him a couple. And Gentry stayed down. Looks like he's all right. Pops back up.
Yeah, I think he got popped somewhere where it hurts. And gets back at him. So that guy, man, he has just gotten better. I've watched him all his 5 years, starting at Arizona State. Wiry, and now he's just 6'6", 235-ish, and physical.
It feels like he grows every time you see him.
Yep.
So 3rd down, French rolls it out. And out to the edge, but short of the line to get. He got Dalen Cobb a yard short. Kevin Longstreet came up to hit him to make it 4th and 1.
Longstreet does a nice job there, and Eric Gentry is the man who forces the issue. Watch him set the edge here. And J.C. French just a little bit errant, but that's a nice job by Longstreet, getting him on the ground short.
So punt team out for Georgia Southern. USC goes 3 and out defensively to start the half.
Georgia Southern right here. It could be a 4th and 2 with a punt return team. If they have a fake punt, this would be a great spot for it.
It is not. Alex Smith away to Lemon, who calls for a fair catch. Alex Smith, an Aussie punter. He did take off in a game against Coastal Carolina last year that they didn't call. He hasn't played American football for very long, so understandable why you might be on alert.
Yeah, he didn't know he was doing something outlandish. You see that right there, the most yards in a first half since 2016. Jaden Maiava, really the lone, put that ball up for grabs and ended up getting kicked and hitting the ground clearly, but could have turned into a pick. Put a couple other at risk, but 304 through the air, 111 on the ground in that first half.
Almost the second most consequential kick six in college football history, but wiped it off the board. Replay had it as incomplete, correctly called. And Wayman Jordan bouncing off a couple of hits. And a first down out across the 40 for the shifty back for USC.
They just keep working versions of this split zone. Watch the double teams create that that is a gigantic space for that type of a play. Should not have that much of a crease. Well done by the front. Good execution and ball security from Jordan.
Movement from Bullard at nose tackle, and 2 flags come out. And Maiava on a free play out to McCree, and they can go ahead and decline that penalty with a first down.
Well done, Jaden Maiava. Well executed by the front.
Offside. Defense number 57. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So the defender in the neutral zone, which, trust me, it happens. It was the nose Bullard for sure. And McCree, 87, working with Jaden Maiava presenting himself. Nice little chunk.
12 yards, better than 5. Declined the penalty.
Good Ball
first
State
down.
math right there, babe.
Thank you. Letterman would be proud. Got to sneak that in again.
Another counter.
Jordan out to the corner, and Prince Green, who's had an active day, cuts him down at the 41. Getting 6 on that carry. So it's been more Jordan today. It was split between him and Sanders, but 13 carries for Jordan, 3 for Sanders for USC in their second game.
Yeah, no Brian Jackson, it appears.
He is officially out.
Yep, just the 2-man rotation.
Brian Jackson, their big 235-pound back, is not available this week. So just Sanders and Jordan in rotation so far.
This little nasty split, the tight end just 2 to 3 yards from the tight end. I'm sorry, from the tackle.
Maiava before the pressure arrived, and Jordan dropped it. That's something USC is going to use him for a lot. Only 6 catches in junior college last year, but what they saw in the spring and in the summer is he can really go get it on the corner as a receiver.
Yeah, they were shocked at that number, and yeah, Lincoln Riley told us, man, he had those plays where you got to grab the guy and throw him in there. We don't really have those right now. Those guys can do everything.
They're nosing up front for Georgia Southern. 6 up there at the line. And now the backers,
Big
Tyson.
edge up top. They got nothing. He's going to go outside to the right.
Those guys bailed out of there. They go to the edge on the bottom side, and Jordan hits that corner. And another first down. Nearing 100 yards on the day. He keeps this drive going. Up to 97 in his second USC game.
Nice job here, just pounding the rock. 12. It was actually 11 personnel with just McCree in. Jordan bounces it outside. Good job by everyone there, scratching behind us. Page letting go, no hold.
And there is Wayman Jordan again, his first 100-yard rushing game at USC. And he dives to the pylon. Touchdown, Wayman Jordan.
He was the junior college player of the year, and this is why he has the erect stance there, bends the knees, sees the cutback lane, and then the backdoor cut. And watch 15, Jaden Richardson wisely doesn't block in the back, wisely doesn't hold, just runs through it. clean finish, making up for that early fumble. Well done, Wayman Jordan.
A sneaky pick that some believe could be this year's Aston Genty.
It's really that's a great comparison. Low profile guy, but physical.
Georgia Southern hopes not, because they saw Genty last year. Went for almost 300 yards and 6 touchdowns. Today, Wayman Jordan, 15 for 132. His first 100-yard game. Six-yard touchdown for Jordan, put him over 100 yards on the day. Now Georgia Southern with a couple of touchdowns from Camden Brown today through the air. Are back out there on offense, led by J.C. French. Continuity this year for Clay Helton. He has not had a returning starting quarterback since he got the job 4 years ago, but both coordinators are back. His starting quarterback is back. His strength coach is back. And that's why a lot of people throughout the Sun Belt think that they will contend again after they were a game shy of the Sun Belt championship game last year. And out to the edge, and Cobb off his hands. Seen one behind him, that one out in front of him.
Yeah, that's another one. Just got J.C. French got sped up there by defensive coordinator Danton Lynn, bringing pressure. That's when if he can identify it, there's basically there's an I formation on offense. That's good. An I formation on defense is awareness for the quarterback to realize, hey, why are those guys stacked over each other? One's coming. I put that screen right in the armpit, and he's still running.
The first play of the drive on the deck, and 2nd and 10 is an inside run for Arnold. First window not open, and he gets a couple. Braylon Conley ran him down before he could turn it up. 3rd down and long.
Down long, J.C. French, the 4th, trying to get a little helmet sticker there on the peeled back, but had no chance to block anyone.
I thought he was going for the pancake for a second. I thought he was dropping the shoulder. Maybe before the diet, he would have done that.
Yeah, exactly. So he got 6 up at the line of scrimmage here, plus the nickel stacked over the top. 5-man rush.
Ran away cleanly, but behind Cobb and incomplete. The Carlos Nicholson, who had a first half pick, with another 3rd down stop for USC.
It is good that DeCarlos Nicholson is in man coverage right here because he's not looking at the quarterback. If he is, it's a pick 6. J.C. French just had to, again, get rid of it out of his timing, out of his rhythm. DeCarlos Nicholson in great position for what his job was. Got to put it away.
So 3 and out, followed by 3 and out. Georgia Southern's first 2 drives of the 2nd half. Sandwiching a quick scoring drive for USC, who now gets it back. And no chance at a return for Lemon. Makes the fair catch to the 28. Nice night in California. USC enjoying themselves up 38-13. He felt like by 2027 they will reach that talent ceiling, and then it'll just remain steady for years to come.
Yeah, and the beautiful part about that, if you're an SC fan, as it's a give to Sanders with my off as a lead blocker.
Big play-by-play.
Yeah. Is when you look at the front, you look at their offensive linemen, their defensive linemen in the front 7 area. It looks like, you know, on a phone where you like expand your hand and it just zooms out symmetrically. That's what they all look like. They're all bigger, faster, stronger, and on cue.
Zacharias Williams is down inside the 5. So those big guys up front, that looks like they're zoomed in compared to last year. Set in the pocket, and Mayava sets up a 1st and goal. 61 yards to Williams.
Great effort finishing right here by this Georgia Southern defender, keeping him out of the end zone, and they'll have a lot of fun with Zacharias Williams that he got hauled in from behind. If they win, those are fun meetings. That's another kind of thing that Jade Malva has added to his toolbox, the hard sell. Jump, make him jump offside, take a shot play.
Well, another explosive play sets up this 1st and goal for Sanders. Shoved out after 4 yards. There's a flag down. I don't know if that was a flag or a mouthpiece. I think that was a mouthpiece.
Something the back judge has in his hands, yeah.
No, that was a mouthpiece. That was a legal play.
Yeah. But just great job by Jade Malva and Lincoln Riley working that freeze play, the hard sell play action. They've got three sizable plays on that tonight. Something you're trusting that guy to execute. Too many dudes.
Too many dudes. Can't do that.
That's 12 dudes. Yep.
Timeout. Georgia Southern. Their first of the half. 30 seconds.
Clay Helton, spry on his feet, getting the timeout called, his first of the half.
Still got the burst.
Right. Pretty classy of him, the clip we just showed of him talking about the talent and the offensive mind that Lincoln Riley is. Keep in mind, this is the guy that was the direct replacement for Clay Helton at USC.
Yep.
Would have been very easy for him, not necessarily to be outwardly bitter, but to dance around the answer to that question that he got about USC's talent. He wasn't. He was straight up about it.
Again, he's as we talked about before, his brother is a football coach. His dad was a football coach. Obviously, his son is on his team. This guy, he always calls other coaches ball coach. Hey, ball coach. Hey, doing ball coach. Hey, ball coach. And he's one of the most sincere people in this business. And again, all the people that came up to him prior to this game, including that man, with reverence.
So right amount of people on the field on defense after there were 12, now 11. And Georgia Southern ready to go legally on a 2nd and goal. Kills the first look. And switches Sanders over to the other side. He sets to throw. Nothing there, so he pitches it and the flag is out. Walker Lyons was tangled up right near the goal line. Brandon Tyson in the area there.
Yeah, this is a take-your-pick defensive holding. Lake McCree and Walker Lyons.
Defense, number 9. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
So they picked the one that was on Justin Myers instead of Tyson.
Myers shockingly doesn't like it. You'll see this play out. 9 is, again, that's what I meant. The tight end to the left getting help, the tight end to the right getting help. Good job by the officials. 1st and goal.
The first penalty of the game against Georgia Southern. It was a highly penalized first half for USC. And Sanders bouncing between the tackles for a touchdown. Last week, the 73-yard burst, a shorter walk-in this time for the New Mexico transfer.
These guys saying, hey man, enough about these wideouts. Let's get it back to the ground game. Jordan with the long one. Sanders, great recognition. Collision. The contact is 2 yards deep in the end zone by Bentley.
Cruise of a drive for USC. 4 plays, 72 yards in less than 2 minutes. And they haven't had a touchdown drive today, more than 8 plays. Showed you the numbers on how many explosives they've had. It has been quick hitting offense. USC has 45 up on the board after 73 in week 1. Looking good, getting to 2-0 before Big Ten play start.
There's a bunch of full unit, full team cohesion celebration. That did not always happen here the last few years. Lincoln Riley's starting to do a lot more together. See this kickoff return.
Jalen Cobb brought it out and won't make it to the 20. So in the Big Ten, early in the season, of course, Ohio State had that big win last week with Julian Sands' first start. The defending national champions beat Texas, won big against Grambling today for a 2-0 start. And Penn State, Oregon, Indiana looking for another playoff berth, while Michigan, the 2023 national champs, USC and Illinois will play here in a few weeks.
Illinois undefeated, SC on their way there. Michigan, it looks like they're in trouble. Play that live.
The whistle does blow. That's incomplete. Michigan and Norman tonight. They're down 21-7 midway through the third quarter after they beat New Mexico in week 1.
Our stats guru, Mike Rodolfi, and his fighting Illini, he's lost his voice. He was so excited today, I think, for the Illini. They look good. That was a big win. Playing at Duke. Manny Diaz doing a nice job of that program. That was a big win.
Out to the end. Big hits. Jaden Walker bringing the wood. Loss of 4 on the big collision.
Jaden Walker, 6'2", 235, coming inside out. And doesn't break stride right there. That is a great run through, wrap finish, clinic tape. Eric Gentry, 18 on scene to dap him up.
Shoulders feeling better. Walker had shoulder issues last year. They predict a meteoric rise for him this season. French on target on third down. Got it out to Sanders, but a yard short of the first down.
This kid is gritty, man. J.C. French the fourth. He said he was the ultimate poised competitor. Coaches and players alike they weren't afraid of him in this situation, in this spotlight. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Best golfer in the quarterback room.
Yes.
Self-proclaimed. Beating his offensive coordinator, and Turner helping as well. Fourth down and 1 with the offense still out there, and a quarterback keep for a first down. I did appreciate that we were talking golf, and then he went one by one in our meeting, and he ranked the golfers just based on the look of us. He ranked you first and me last.
I appreciated that.
He was right. He nailed it.
Great job working off the edge of the A-gap. Chandler Strong, the center, pushing the way forward for the first down.
Quarterback keep for a first down, but not much there. It must just be the athletic aura that you have to you that led J.C. French to say you.
Or like, this guy can't be athletic at anything else. It's got to be golf. Yes.
You've proven that, though. So J.C. French nailed it. They're in good hands with him. They've had a really good run of quarterback health at Georgia Southern. That's helped them go 6 wins, and 8 wins in Clay Helton's first 3 years. And Kyle Van Treese a few years ago, Davis Brin after that. And now the second year of J.C. French as he ducks and dives his way 2 yards shy of the first down.
And he dives, so he'll get every inch of that, as opposed to a foot-first slide where they back him up to the start of it again, just showing his toughness.
And he's lighter this year. That's part of his game he thinks is going to show up even more than last year, is his ability to run. It has twice so far, once on the quarterback keeper. And again on that run for French, facing a third down and 2.
Eric Gentry's up top here. Jay Miles said he's the guy that gets me the most on defense with his disguise. Here he comes.
And they keep it up the gut with Badinga for a first down.
Nice job.
Talking to the... Go ahead, Mark.
Just edge pressure, and they just get it started. Badinga doing a good job. Just a physical finish, run through, and another arm tackle that time for Jaden Walker, fighting his way for the first.
When Georgia Southern's had third and short, they've been good. 3 of 3 on third and short. And this is into the ground. Devin Tompkins was J.C. French's enemy there. Had him wrapped up to force the throwaway.
This is in the bag of tricks category. It's a little pump on the bubble screen and watch 7. They're going to pump all the action this way, try to get everybody to run flat like it's a screen. And then you see 7 coming back inside. Well dissected that time by big Keyshawn Silver. What would he have done with that if he caught that ball?
Obviously housed it at 330, 330 pounds, hunting a pick. Going to see Jamal Jarrett get one of those this year at 360. Big job. And traffic. And Brown says he caught it. Call is that he caught it. No, I don't think that was a one-hopper. And then they'll come in conference and I believe rule that incomplete.
Yeah, this looked like it hopped, as you said, about 2 to 3 yards in front of him. Well, definitely hits the ground.
The legs, yep. Yeah, they've backed it up. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah. Good job again by the officials.
The game clock to 3 minutes 52 seconds. 3:52, please.
Lincoln Riley showing his mule shoe track time burst to get down there to say, wait, he did not catch it.
Play clock dipping here.
Play Hell's asking him, hey, can we pump that? The official, the referee, I think is gonna. The referee here, he's doing a nice job here. He's going to say, hey, Jason Nick will be the referee. He's going to say, I'll pump that. Looked like they were talking about it. You see that one-hand pump means reset the play clock to 25 seconds. I think that's what he was about to do. There was just a little bit of an extra delay in administering whether or not the ball hit the ground, which led to the prolonged delay. I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, Clay Helton was saying, you guys took the time to come.
Yeah,
that should cost
the game
us.
Clock to 3 minutes 52 seconds. 3:52, please.
Nice shot.
Okay, so this USC defense, they've been a perfect 7 of 7 on 3rd down and longs getting off the field. That's where they
7 across voodoo. What are we bringing?
They're bringing one and twisting. Abasiri almost got there, and French delivered a dart. Cobb has a 1st down through that heat.
Nice job by the protection. Nice job by J.C. French, the 4th. So there's the voodoo you got to deal with. Which 4 are coming? I get to the top of my drop. Really good job of passing off the twist and playing in rhythm. And 31. Jaden Walker almost gets back in on it, just like Bishop Fitzgerald did last week for the pick 6.
The first 3rd down and long that Georgia Southern converts on today. They were 0 for 7 before that. Yes, drive continues for Badinga, who shimmies his way right back to the marker. Give him 10 and a 1st down.
5'7", 190 is what they list him at. Plays big.
Back-to-back carries for him. Yeah, they love using him between the tackles. Badinga was voted best calves on the team.
I've
not kidding.
Never been voted that.
I'm not kidding.
I get it. Look at that.
Powerful. Uses the best calves on the team, plus that low center of gravity to be the best in between the tackles running. Didn't think you were getting that on tonight's show, did you? Zoom in on David Badinga's calves.
Yes. Very impressive.
O.J. Arnold's back in there at running back. And French with the field side throw. Incomplete to Brown, who has 2 touchdowns in this game. This is a 1st down. Set him up inside the red zone.
Nice rhythm. Camden Brown and J.C. French, the 4th. Watch the route just to speed out. Runs through it. You got to play in rhythm and on time. Trust your QB. Trust your receiver is going to run that perfectly. Great execution.
Is that one of the hardest throws as a quarterback, that field side?
Just the trust. Just the trust, the timing. When you got a guy you can do it with like that, it falls in your automatic category, and then you take these shots.
Right back to him and incomplete. Tied up with Marcellus Williams, who smothered the top target of J.C. French.
Yeah, Camden Brown, the burner from the Auburn transfer. That's what you can do with a vertical. You build in that basically a locked out, almost unstoppable if you can put it back to. back-to-back.
Using the Hugh Freeze connection to get Camden Brown, who was part of that team that almost beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl a few years ago to keep them out of the playoffs. Brian Haplin, their offensive coordinator at Georgia Southern, played for Hugh Freeze in college at Arkansas State. Off a play fake. French to the end zone. Cobb over the shoulder. Touchdown, Dalen Cobb, beating Kevin Longstreet.
The Eagles are not going away. Watch this matchup right there, one-on-one. Another version of a slot fade. Gives him a little stick. Holds all of that room for J.C. French, the fourth, to drop a dime to Dalen Cobb. Perfect route. Great execution.
How about a 15-player? 15-play, 81-yard drive. A little over 6 minutes to get there, and Georgia Southern has their third touchdown. First two scores through the air for Brown. This one from Cobb. And Georgia Southern with their first score of the second half.
Faces to the end.
Are you allowed to say Gipper in a game involving USC? Given the Notre Dame rivalry? You almost went there, right? USC by 25. And now across the 20, Eli Sanders ducks down at the 21. Little extra after. And they clear it out. So the one staying in there. Remember, USC had their twos or their backups in there at this time of the game last week. And Jade Mayava is pressing for a 400-yard gain.
Yeah, started 7 for 7. Into a little bit, of a relative lull, and still 377 and 4. Dominant on the ground as well tonight. Look at Riley's mixed it up very well.
Mayava completed his first 7 passes of the day. A bunch of big hitters in the first half to Lane and Lemon. Play fake, looking for McCree, and incomplete. Brandon Tyson running in coverage, saying, I got the seatbelt on.
That was Lake McCree's touchdown the other day. The long one to start things off. The exact same play on Puller. Basically a bluff and go vertical. Diagnosed that time by the Eagles.
Instead of a slant and go being a sluggo, is that a bluggo?
Sure.
Bluff and go?
I like that. I like that. We had a couple of words for that one. Inappropriate. That would be better.
Out to the edge for DJ Jordan, who's twisted down at the 29. Third and short coming up. I take it that didn't make coordinator parlance?
Well, we just can't make it on, television. Defense coordinator Brandon Bailey for Georgia Southern was very worried about the open field tackling with all of the athletes. And it's, we've certainly had their issues tonight, but SC probably just made more plays than just one-on-ones beating in space.
386 yards for Mayava, new career high in passing. And keeping it with Jordan, who makes another cut to the sideline. Green has an angle and runs him down. But not before another explosive for Jordan, who had 132 yards before that carry and picks up 35 more. Defensive drive of the day. But it is USC by 25, looking for 2-0 before they play their first Big Ten game next week.
Mayava's first action with the torch lit in the fourth quarter.
He was out by halftime last week. On his way to Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. Dante Moore in Oregon put on a show today, putting up 69 points. So I'm sure somebody from Oregon will be in that mix, but Mayava is pressing for a 400-yard game. So he got a career high in passing yards. 360 in that Notre Dame game that he started late last year was his previous high. Could get to 400 on this throw. If he finds anybody, now he does, and he's got 400. He's got Walker Lyons and a first down and goal. First career 400-yard game through the air for Jade Mayava. Did some dancing to get there.
Nice job dancing with his eyes up. Jacoby Lane is at the top of your screen, the left side as we're looking at it, uncovered. That's the one they'll take a look at tomorrow. He's wide open in the left corner of the end zone right there. He says, that's too easy. I'm going to scramble out here, find my tight end, and set up for business. That is the first down.
That song, I've been dancing on my own. You know that? It was made for that play right there.
Sounds like my personal life.
Right. Fake. Cut up. Mayava hurdles. Oh, he does the Jacoby Lane. He did it with a guy on the ground, yes, though. Jacoby Lane did it with a guy straight up. Second and goal.
But yeah, his toughness, his decision-making, again, has been here for less than a full season. Obviously, as a starter, a few games last year, a career-high 412, but his development, man, is going to be interesting to watch.
Yep.
Working with Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, he's the most raw of any of the quarterbacks as far as the starting point that Lincoln Riley has had in his head coaching career. Played a lot of volleyball growing up. Played some tight end growing up, Jade Mayava did. And wide open, untouched. Touchdown for Eli Sanders.
Great job by this right side. There's a little misalignment. Lincoln Riley dials it up, and for Raymond 73, there's nobody left. Watch this bounce out as Sanders 73 pulls and has no one to block. Touchdown. Yeah, it's also interesting to talk about just coaching the Polynesian quarterback and his makeup. We talked about a couple guys that we both had in the past. He's a highly competitive dude, but also kind of defers to seniority. He's learning from that, I think.
Pretty cool. Actor Jason Momoa is keeping close tabs on Jade Mayava, the first Polynesian quarterback at USC. Oregon and Texas Tech are the only two teams, as of now, that have scored more points at this point in the college football season. How, obviously, those numbers are probably not going to be sustainable in the Big Ten, but how sustainable is this firepower in this offense for USC? You think it's going to be a big number when we get to Big Ten play, too?
I do, but it's going to come down to the same things that we talked about earlier from last year, the turnovers and the winning one-score games. They're going to be in some one-score games. Purdue, Barry Odom and company will have a different plan. Michigan State will have a different plan. Undefeated Illinois will have a different plan. But they've shown the ability to run the football when they want to out of their quarterback's hands. That's big. Outside, the perimeter guys, the tight end. They are deep. They're like old SCD.
Well, there was a guy that could help them defensively. Jakeem Stewart, their five-star edge that reclassified to be part of this group at USC, playing in his first Trojans game.
Yeah, got him out of LSU's backyard, and they are very, very excited to unleash him. And right there, it's Keyshawn Silver, the Kentucky transfer, and 4 inside, and then he's getting after the quarterback.
Yeah, behind Cobb with the pressure from Stewart. He was in a walking boot late in camp. That's why he missed the first game, but ready to go for game number 2, and he's going to help him right away.
Yeah, Dan Lynn told us yesterday he thought he's one of the smartest guys in the room as young as he is, and that's what we talked about earlier, the zoom out average weight. This is just of the defensive line, and just like you, they put on 22 really good pounds. You look fabulous.
I don't know if it was, I haven't checked the scale since the offseason. I don't know if it was 22. The recruit and I still work, apparently. Open man, but Brown had it one stride in front of him. Well, that's a real thing, though, right? For USC, they change strength coaches at a weird time. Usually you don't change a strength coach at the end of spring practice.
Yes.
but they made that switch.
And you could see him at practice from a discipline standpoint, not only coaching themselves, correcting themselves. You saw multiple guys, Kamari Ramsey particularly on defense, multiple wideouts on offense, correcting each other. They were doing, extra up downs if somebody stepped wrong, clapped wrong. That's very, very common thing, but they're all bought in. They did very few of those yesterday. Another thing I thought that really showed up big, as we saw a fair catch, is you saw scout team guys coaching other scout team guys. That's big for Jaden Mayava.
So Hassan Longstreet, who USC is very excited about. Some had him as a 5-star, some as a high 4-star prospect out of Centennial High School in California. And he gives on his first play. Hassan Longstreet, true freshman, played the entire second half last week in what Lincoln Riley called a pretty steady performance in his first college game.
Yeah, had the one kind of self-induced fumble off that hit as the ball was released, but Hassan Longstreet from Corona Centennial, one of the great programs in Southern California. Another thing Lincoln Riley said, this guy's been coached basically his whole life, all sorts of situations, all sorts of things that Jaden Mayava, he almost said he took for granted with Jaden Mayava.
Longstreet played for Matt Logan at Centennial, who's won several championships in his time as the head coach. And out to the edge for another first down. Harry Dalton with his first carry of the day. 21 yards. Cold off the bench here in the fourth quarter.
Great job staying in bounds. Outside zone play. He presses it front side, sees the edge gotten by Aiden Treater and company. Reed also 50, getting the corner.
Dalton didn't get in there last week. His teammates loving him up after his first carry of the season. Pops for 22. For all runs since Longstreet has been in. King Miller scored a touchdown last week. The King is off to the races again. He's found his throne for the second straight week. 41 yards.
Great field by the King, pressing it front side. Watch this as he presses it front side, gets vertical, and then just has the speed and the vision to make that guy miss. And then it's off to the races again. A great effort. Zacharias Williams and company playing clean, getting him to the house. Little escort by Hassan Longstreet, actually.
Yep. Last week, Miller scored that touchdown with his brother, Kaylon Miller, his twin brother, blocking for him up front. Springs another big one. His flags come flying everywhere on the extra point.
Full start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
Got the starters back in here for the PAT, keeping all those guys the same, and just a little jump from Elijah Page. It was also interesting in practice watching how interchangeable the offensive linemen were. 7, 8 guys deep, and if they made a mistake, Coach Riley kicked them out and exchanged them. That wide out, that tight end, that O-line. That was impressive.
Sayuri on his second try also puts it through. Caden Chittenden is expected to be the kicker long term this year, but Sayuri's had a good couple weeks to start the year. So is King Miller in his limited touches. 75-yard touchdown a week ago. 41-yard hit tonight. With Mark Helfrich, Connor Onion, 10:24 in the fourth. USC for the Big Ten opener next week. They got the backups in. Jaden Mayava can do that the rest of the night. After Hassan Longstreet was in on that last touchdown scoring drive that led to King Miller finding the house for the second straight week. All these touchdown drives for USC, 8 plays or less. They have been efficient with the time they've had on the field today.
And that is all added up to 700 even, and a lot of scoring.
Yeah, not quite to that game against Pomona back in 1925, but they are closing in on the Bus. Eric Musselman and the basketball team. 76 points a game last year, and 73 and 59 to start.
Plenty of time left for this crew.
It's a nice deep cut by Jackie Chung. Running our graphics. Pop out to the edge and a first down.
And Turner Helton.
Yeah, Turner Helton
on the action.
Yeah, and the stadium he grew up in, the son of Clay Helton, spent 6 years old to 18 years old with his dad on the USC staff, and now he gets to play in the Coliseum. This is a really cool moment for him to take the field tonight. Back-to-back throws for him and back-to-back completions. This one to Dylan Gary for 3 yards.
RPO hitch, good timing, played for his uncle Tyson last year at Western Kentucky. And then transferred over to be a part of his program. Coach Helton, what he said, he said, I needed somebody that I didn't have to pay very much.
Right.
He was half serious.
Someone he could trust to be a backup quarterback. So he goes to his son, who slides down. Yeah, his formative years, Turner's formative years with dad here. And so many memories as the family was going through pictures this week, getting ready for this game, of being around Matt Barkley and Sam Darnold at that Rose Bowl when Turner was a teenager. So he gets to be on the field where his heroes played, including his dad, who coached here, and coached those guys. Well, letting him throw it since he's come in, and it's wide of the mark. They're looking for Murphy again, so it's 4th down.
Yeah, Brian Green Jr. there, I think, was busted and wisely just basically kind of thrown away. Turner Helton had a little edge pressure. But yeah, Coach Helton told us, it's been emotional for me, but it's been really emotional for that, type of guy going up through the completion of his high school years for 12 years at that age, is all the development that took place and all the great players and coaches that he got to be around. Great memories.
Zacharias Williams, fair catch, back at the 10. So the memories, look at young Turner there on the left with his dad. They recreated a touchdown run when he was 6 years old, their first year here, and the rise from position coach to coordinator to head coach, all with his son by his side. That's why Clay Helton told us yesterday this was the best time of his life, the 12 years that he spent at SC. Turner's sister is here today. Some other family for the Heltons have made their way back to Southern California. I mean, we saw academic advisors and ushers and former players coming up to Clay Helton before the game, showing a lot of appreciation. Same for Turner with some of his old friends from Southern California here to watch him today too. Longstreet throws for the first time and complete. DJ Jordan hauls it in.
Shot by Gladney, getting him down, triggering. A lot of clean jerseys for these Georgia State substitutes coming in as well, getting some valuable experience.
Well, don't flip over if you're watching USC's offense today. You flip over, you probably miss a touchdown.
705 yards and counting.
Longstreet made his check. Got the one he likes. Pulls it out and incomplete. Through the arms of a sliding Joey Olsen.
Yeah, it looked like Olsen just lost that for a second. Looked like it was right in his breadbasket. It was a good job selling the alert kill. Making Riley getting that to a good leverage throw to Olsen. Just dropped it.
USC on 3rd down today, 4 out of 7. They were 6 out of 7 last week. All those quick scoring drives, that's the thing. They haven't been on 3rd down much. We probably won't know how deep the card is for Lincoln Riley on 3rd down until at least next week at Purdue. And Longstreet underneath, complete. And that's enough for the 1st down to Tanook Hines, freshman to freshman.
This guy is another one of those kind of undersized, listed at 6 foot. I'm saying he's not quite there. Seeing him at practice yesterday, but then throws it with unbelievable efficiency. You can see both those last throws in very safe spots, great location, moving the chains. Another athletic weapon, one of many for Lincoln Riley.
Alert insert, alert insert. Dan, be ready to fit the insert outside in.
After his throw to extend the drive, he puts it on the ground again. And Harry Dalton with a more modest gain.
Yeah, modest gain, only 6. Did go 75.
He went 22 on his first carry, so 6. Yes, slacking a little bit. Second drive with Longstreet in there. He was perfect last week. 9 of 9. He's 2 of 2 today, up to 3 of 3. And another 1st down. DJ Jordan had his first career catch last week. He has a couple of catches from Longstreet today.
Nice timing. It's a hitch up top. Watch him catch. Floater drop and then the quick release as the nickel kind of carried that inside receiver. Good verification that time by Longstreet. Good execution.
Tabarachi motions out into the slot, and he's blocking for Hines, who's tripped up at midfield. There's Chris Crouch, who's wearing the number 0 for Georgia Southern. And they give that to the player each week who's the best teammate and who poses 0 issues. That's why the number 0 is worn by Crouch this week.
Yeah, we got a chance to spend a little time with him. Neat guy. You know, the old school walk on, work your way up. 5th year in the program, not in the program, but 5th year of eligibility. One of the kind of COVID leftovers. Great honor there at Georgia Southern. Very cool.
Tim Miller spins his way off Crouch, 1st down. The fact that Georgia Southern's been on the road for 9 days, and the first week that they played at Fresno State, Davion Rhodes wore number 0. He's a defensive lineman. Chris Crouch is a safety, so we wondered how many number 0 jerseys do these guys got? They've got at least 1 for every size. Small all the way up to XX. So if it's a lineman that needs a XXX, you got to go belly shirt, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, you can't wear 0 on the line, can you? You can wear it in warm-ups if you win that honor. Clay Helton told us.
You can hear the Georgia Southern sideline saying, "Oh, hold, throw the flag." And
they did.
The official agreed.
Offense, number 24, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Carson Tabarachi scoring last week late, a much celebrated touchdown within the program for a lot of reasons. A guy that's battled back from almost never playing again. Just had a bad angle there and held.
So it's 1st down at 20. Approaching the 4-minute mark with USC up big. 73 points last week, 59 this week, and Longstreet protects himself. That'll make Lincoln Riley smile. Avoiding the hit, second down after 6 yards.
Yeah, some people wonder why we're throwing the ball in these situations. This guy needs this work. Clay Helton, Georgia Southern know that these guys, this guy, we got a long season. Obviously, Jade Mayava is by a distance the better player, but Hassan Longstreet has a bright future as well, and he's earned these reps as well as all these other skilled guys.
Jay Fair across the formation. Harry Dalton can't crease it. He's knocked down for a loss. C.J. Allen with the hit. Trice also in there. Hassan Longstreet has had a chance to play on national TV at a young age. He was part of a national showcase game as a junior in high school. Matt Logan, his head coach at that time, said, watch this guy. He's got the composure of Bryce Young, and he's only 16, 17 years old. They saw it at Centennial very early, and obviously Lincoln Riley and a lot of college coaches throughout the country wanted him. Ended up choosing the Trojans over Texas A&M. And Longstreet makes a good decision and benches him.
Good decision there. A good decision by King Miller. 30 had a chance to, would have been called for a crack back block type of situation, and just shielded his man off. And unfortunately, that's going to lead to something. It's a 4-letter word in most offensive rooms, but certainly at SC, punt.
I thought you were going to say drop kick. D-R-O-P. Okay. So just the third punt of the day for USC after they didn't punt last week. So Sam Johnson does get some work. And he pins him inside the 10. The USC offense, 59 points following up 73.
Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane get things started. Makai Lemon, play action pass, great void, great location. This is the vertical to Zacharias Williams to set up a touchdown. And then the running back said, hey, let's get on this action. Wayman Jordan, a big gain, and then setting up a bounce it outside touchdown. Eli Sanders had a touchdown on the ground. All added up to 700. Do not adjust your screen. 755 yards.
Still over 200 shy of that record set against Pomona in 1925. And that breaks for Samuel. Out for a first down for the senior from Florida. He hadn't carried the ball since 2022 in junior college before tonight. So a little extra celebration from the sideline as Samuel broke into the second level and sends this game to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes standing between USC and 2-0 before they start the Big Ten plus Notre Dame schedule after this. We're at the 2-minute timeout. Georgia Southern first down.
Georgia Southern competing to the end.
Yeah, they get to go home after this 9-day West Coast swing. Their first 2 games in California ever. And Jacksonville State will be next, followed by Maine, and then it's an 8-game Sun Belt schedule, starting with James Madison. And Helton to the sideline and incomplete. Kevin Longstreet, Hassan's brother, broke it up. Well, it's a big one to start with for Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt. James Madison is a lot of people's favorites to win the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern not far behind. It was an 8-point loss against Troy late last year that kept Georgia Southern from the Sun Belt championship game.
Nice bounce.
Out to the corner again for Samuel. And showing a burst. And the few carries he's gotten today. And a chain mover with inside 2 minutes before Kennedy Urlacher, Brian's son, ran him down.
Another version of counter gets wadded up. Jamarian Samuel bounces it outside, churning out some yards. And out of bounds, stops the clock now under 2 minutes, going to old school college rules. Stops for a first down, or if it's out of bounds. If it's a first down, once the chains are set, it starts again.
Samuel got 39 on that last play, helped now to Gary for a second time. How about Jamarian Samuel? Mentioned a little bit before, the running back for Georgia Southern hadn't carried the ball since 2022 at Hines Community College. They play at Murphy Field there. 5,000 seats at their stadium. Next carry 3 years later comes to the Coliseum. Little different settings for him today. Back shoulder throw and in and out of the hands. There was a 4-letter word.
Yes, it
was not punt.
They are letting them play. Let's just say that right there at the end, I think is what they're mad about. And then you flip it over to SC's upcoming schedule. Undefeated Purdue is their first road trip of the season.
Beat the Salukis tonight. Starting 2-0 against Southern Illinois and Ball State in the first 2 weeks. And that'll set up 2-0 versus 2-0 next week to start the Big Ten. For USC and Purdue. Fourth down, Georgia Southern. You start going up and down the schedule for USC. What do you think the end result is with that gauntlet? Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame, and then you go to Nebraska after that. Where do you think the record ends up after 12 years?
Don't do exactly what you just did, which every USC fan does, right? Well, we'll skip by that at Purdue and against Michigan State's not that good, you know, right? One at a time. One at a time. These guys are building this place correctly. The 12 personnel, the hardball runs, they're one at a time. Totally different animal, obviously, going forward. Anybody they play in the Big Ten, you know, between Missouri State and Georgia Southern, who has played their tail off, and they're going to be PI here, I think.
Pass interference. Defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty from the previous. Automatic first down.
Not a 4-letter word.
Shockingly, Lincoln Riley disagrees. Kennedy Urlacher. Not as much contact as the last one. I think it was one of those ones where he's like, man, maybe I need to call this. He calls that grab. Is that a grab and restrict? No. Probably a play on. And after a night when you had 755 yards and you're up 59-20, you want every call. And I get it. I get it.
We showed you the upcoming schedule for USC. That'll be a fun one for Urlacher, who was called for that penalty. Notre Dame transfer. Get to see the Irish in a few weeks. Play fake help. Going back to the end zone. And a twisted try. Comes up just shy for Carmelo Bays.
Turner Helton has thrown the ball well. All these balls have been in good spots. It's just, there's no error between the route runner and the coverer. The back shoulder up top was a good throw. SC will have plenty to work on. There's obviously defensively, again, it's a different challenge next week. 8 penalties. Some of those, you know, are more easily corrected than others.
Samuel, third down. And the timeout. Georgia Southern will use that second timeout with 20 seconds left.
Second and a half, 30 seconds.
So Jacksonville State is up next for Georgia Southern. Of course, they start over after Rich Rodriguez took the West Virginia job, winning a conference title last year. Then the Black Bears against Maine in non-conference. It'll be interesting to watch the Sun Belt this year because
the Sun Belt's like the Big 12, right? There's
a lot of
talent
offense
everywhere, coaches everywhere. See, that's good. Clay Helton, what just happened here is he called the timeout. A couple boos. couple boos, right? Just say, hey, let's go home. Let's get out of here. But again, I get it. Compete to the end.
You get the boos or the timeout?
All of it. I get all of it.
America's most agreeable man, Mark Helfrich. So at least one more snap for Turner Helton in the stadium he grew up in. He's taking a few shots to the end zone. Thinking that way again. Extends the play. And nothing there. So 4th down. Do you kick it? Usually we talk about this and
I would imagine he's going for it.
Throw it again.
Yep.
Thought maybe he would get a Trip Bryant trip out there since he hasn't kicked a field goal yet. He's a true freshman kicker.
I would imagine things in the desert are already settled, so none of that to think about for some people.
USC with the points. People are feeling good if you did that. Back to Mays, close to the marker. And he got enough for the first down. Clock stops with 7 seconds left. And that'll be it.
Off. Yep.
Clay Helton passes it on to his equipment aficionado, Andy Harris, and that's it. The return for Clay Helton to USC. Ends with a 59-20 win for the Trojans, who start 2025 2-0.